Dunstan, and I'm here to talk to you guys about my final project for CS120. For this project, I was starting on making my personal website, a little place to put my resume, some of my code, share my code with friends and employers, and get used to making websites. So my websites, I decided to host it on Heroku, web hosting services instead of the Silk server, because I am worried about losing the Silk server when I graduate, and then I'd have to move it over to my own server anyway. So decided to go straight into Heroku. They have a lovely free tier, which is free forever, and it gives you lots of good web hosting stuff. Unlike AWS or Google Cloud Platform, they have like budgets where you can like potentially run out of money, and I didn't want to mess around with that. So Heroku is nice and simple, easy to use, and nice free tier that's free forever. So I have my own little domain name here that's running on Heroku. Um, it's not secure right now. I am going to um, enable SLS checking to make it secure in the future. But yeah, we have the four little pages here. Not very built out right now because I was focusing on the code portion. I'm in the process of uploading all of my projects that I think are worthy of being on this website. I have two of them right now. This one is just a simple little JavaScript applet that I wrote for modeling complex systems. And this one is the Sudoku solver that I wrote for this class. And if we look here, this is just a little JavaScript app just running on the Chrome in my browser. Nothing too complicated. A little cellular automata that models evolution. So we have the predators, the two types of prey here, and we can have them mutate. We can give the predators a preference for the green or the orange prey, and then we can control like birth and death rates for both the prey and the predators here. So a little Loca Volterra model to simulate evolution, which was pretty cool. Pretty simple to put on the website because it's just JavaScript running in browser. I did all the animation with P5JS, which is a JavaScript library created by the processing organization, which makes it super simple to do visuals on websites. And then if we go back to the code, the Sudoku solver here, this is also written in P5JS, the interface here, and then the buttons are just HTML and move those over. I did not do the input in P5 for this one. But you can input whatever numbers you want, and if you submit it, it'll tell you that you don't have a valid Sudoku. Um, but if I press the solve button here, nothing will happen. And if we go to inspect and we look at the console, it'll give you status 500 internal server error. And this is because on the Heroku server that I'm using, I pushed compiled C++ binary up there, but I compiled it on my computer, which is running Mac OS, and the Heroku server is running Linux. So the C++ code that I compiled won't run on Linux, obviously. So I spent a while trying to figure out how to compile a binary for Linux on my computer, and it was quite the process, and I didn't end up figuring it out, which is why on my domain name, this little applet is not working because it's using the binary that was written for OS X, and it's running some Linux thing. But here I have the website running on my local host, so my computer, my laptop, is acting like the server. So it will run here because this server is running OS X because my laptop has OS X. So if we look at the code and go to the Sudoku solver, um, we can input numbers. We can also use the arrow keys to move the little selector field around. We can clear the solution when there is a solution, and we can clear all to get rid of the solution and the thing. And if we go over to this page, I already have the numbers filled in here for a valid Sudoku, and we can click solve, and then the CS, so the JavaScript in the website takes the inputs from the P5 canvas, and it packages those up into a JSON object, which is just has a dictionary. It says like inputs and then one giant string, which is all the inputs. So the inputs are compressed into a string, which is put into a JSON dictionary, and that is sent with AJAX to the Django backend. Django Python gets the JSON object, uncompresses it into a Python dictionary, pulls out the string of numbers, then it uses that string as a command line argument to the C++ executable. The C++ executable takes the string and then unpacks the string into a double vector of numbers and then puts that into Sudoku Solver. Sudoku Solver solves the numbers, outputs a double vector of solution. C++ puts that back into a string, prints the string to the console. The Python Django backend reads the console output of the C++ binary, and then it grabs that string, packs it back into a JSON dictionary object, and then it sends it via AJAX back to this website. JavaScript grabs it, unpacks the string from the JSON that AJAX gave it, and because it's AJAX, it can update the website without needing to reload it, which is lovely. And then it takes the string, converts that into a double array, and then writes the numbers into this little grid here using processing. So a lot going on, but all the libraries make it super, super simple to do. If I had to write all this code myself, it would not be fun, but I was able to use a lot of libraries that helped me out and didn't make it too bad. So you can clear a solution, solve it again, easy peasy. So in the future, I'm going to try to figure out how to get a Linux binary going. I tried running a Linux virtual machine on my computer, and I got G++ and all the build essentials downloaded, and I was able to make a new makefile with CMake, but when I tried to run make, it was acting like the C++ standard libraries didn't exist, which was unfortunate, and I couldn't figure out how to get it to recognize the C++ standard libraries. I also tried to push the raw C++ code up to Heroku servers and then SSH into the Heroku servers and then run, compile it on their servers, but I don't have root access there, and it didn't have the correct version of CMake or G++ installed, and I couldn't install it because I wasn't a sudo user, so that was unfortunate. And then I also tried to figure out how to use Docker containers. So I got my website backend running in a Docker container, and then I was like, okay, I'll just make a Docker image and then push the Docker image up to the Heroku server because they are nice enough to let you do that. But for some reason, I couldn't quite get that to work either. So now I'm still trying to figure out how to push my binary up to Heroku, but that is a project for a future time. Right now, I'm just finishing up this video and posting it and finishing up the project, but over break, I'm definitely going to be adding more information to this website, styling it a little bit more, adding more code, and then trying to figure out how to push binaries properly. But yeah, that's the work that I did for this 120 final project. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good day. Bye.